Hi. I only have one shot at this video because of what I'm doing. I'm putting together my IV nutrition. My name is Tanya Taylor. I have gastroparesis. Gastroparesis is a digestive illness that does not have a cure. I wrote a couple of things just so I don't forget what I want to say. But there are many people doing things to raise awareness, as I am too. I want to take a few minutes to say hello to so many incredible people I've had the privilege to meet and be able to exchange conversation with and get to know throughout the world. Without you, it's been a lonely trip until I found out what I was living with. So I'm sorry that we all have this, but you all make it possible for me to get through some pretty hard days, and I just want to tell you all how much I appreciate that. And also, I want to take a minute to acknowledge and honor those who have passed before us. There have been a number of deaths since I found out I had gastroparesis in 2011. It seems each year gets worse, and it seems more and more people are diagnosed. There are millions and millions of people living with this, so it shouldn't be an illness that most people don't recognize. If you've heard of irritable bowel syndrome or Crohn's, you should know what gastroparesis is. So a lot of us have taken the time to get some information out so people will know about that. And no, Carissa, not right this second. And remember, I'm not going to redo this, so sorry about any interruptions. Let's see, there was one other thing. I think I covered everything with that. Okay, now I want to take the time to show you how we do IV nutrition. I live on IV nutrition. This is a line that goes into a vessel that goes directly to my heart. This is a central line. PICC lines are up in the arms, up in here, and you get the same benefit. You use the same IV nutrition. I have the alcohol pads that you always have to have tons of those. This little thing is an ethanol cap, which goes on the ends of the lines. There are two lines that are attached to this. So this is my blood line where blood is drawn. And then I have the other line, which is hooked up to the nutrition. So I can show you this before I put it together. I'm not going to hook this one up. The one I'm using that I'm putting together, I'm just going to end up throwing away. Has to be sterilized, can't get anything in it, and it can't go past 24 hours out of the refrigerator. It runs on this pump, and this continues to pump on a 12-hour cycle. And this is the nutrition, what it looks like after you put all the things together with it. Hang on one second. Okay, always gloves. Everything comes sterile. We've got flushes. These are saline flushes. Heparin, always have heparin. The hospitals don't understand. The nurses, when we go in, they don't realize we need to heparin our lines. These aren't temporary lines. These are permanent lines. So if we do not heparin our lines, they get clogged up. And every time we come out of the hospital, we have to have a special type of flush to break up the fibers that form around the ends of the line that are in the vessel. And this is a syringe that we use. So gloves, let me just stick those on real quick. And I have the camera angled in a way that it'll cover the the nutrition instead of, me, I'll have to bend over. Bags are always individual and they're always sealed, so that way that stays sterilized. This is a syringe that will draw the multivitamins and the Zantac that goes into the bag, which is each one of these. Okay. This is, you saw the line that's hooked. This is hooked up. You can see the white fluid going through this, but this is what's hooked up, and the line is actually packaged in this. So it stays sealed until you open it to use it. I'm not going to open that. The syringes, you want to draw back the units. With these, I have 5 milligram units for 2 each of the multivitamins, and then 4 for the Zantac. Each one of these, the saline and the heparin, the saline and the heparin, that's what I flush my lines with prior to being hooked up to the IV nutrition. You have to make sure to flush the lines every day. They can get clotted. You have to make sure to have nothing dirty around you, completely clean area because of infection. My body seems to end up septic. I've had 8 or 9 septicemias, and I always forget which. But one of them was from a perforation. One of them was a port that was actually put into my chest. I don't know where it is right now. There's a scar from it. I didn't want that because I had been septic so many times from the lines that I knew if I got in this port that I was going to go septic. And I went septic in 5 days and fought a 2.5-month battle of septicemia with that port. And then they took it out and put the PICC in. I haven't been septic since. But the ethanol caps, before they came out with the ethanol caps, and those were available, I think because the ends were exposed all the time, that was where I was getting the infection from, because we cleaned and cleaned it with alcohol, but it didn't never seem to be enough. Okay, so I'm going to start putting the multivitamins in. That way you see what we do every day. We have to go through this ritual every day. So I've drawn back an air of 5. You want to put the air into your bottle, and you want to draw out your vitamins. And then that, on the ends, this is the lipids, the fats. On the ends, you have little rubber stops to be able to put your nutrition in. Vitamins, so both of these are multivitamins. And I either do this or my husband does it, one or the other. There's a lot of pressure now, and I've let that go. So what it's going to do is draw, and then I've got, obviously I'm not used to doing this filming. So you pull back, pull all your units out. That also goes into the bag. The last one. You see how long this is taking. This is every day. This stays on for 12 hours. So I run it 12 hours on and 12 hours I'm off. I run this during the day. I'm up enough at night with pain and problems with my tachycardia, with the lung issues, not being able to breathe properly, and doing nebulizer treatment. So I'm up enough. I use this during the day. You've got fluid running through you for 12 hours, so you have to go to the bathroom constantly. And if I had to do this at night, I did it at night. I didn't get any sleep. So anyway, I'm done with this. This syringe, we take the needle off of it. This can go in the recycle trash. This goes in my sharps container, which I have upstairs. Needles never are disposed of in a trash can, ever. So with this, you'll pull this apart. This comes with a little zip clamp to separate, and then you'll mix up your lipids with the rest of the nutrition. After you do that, this little tab at the end, there you go. This little tab at the end gets pulled off. Let me open this so I can show you. I don't need this anymore. If I was hooking up, I would get another pair of gloves, because what you have to do, this is the line, this part goes into the machine. This part goes into the end of the bag. You prime this through, it fills up the entire line. This little piece keeps the air bubbles out. And then you have all this line that you can use to walk around with. I put my nutrition in a bag that I can carry around. The backpack that they send you is heavier than the nutrition. So for me, I don't have the strength to carry that. I don't know if anybody does, but I sure don't have the strength to carry that. Let's see. Again, these are there are 2 saline that I would flush through each one. When I do the saline, each time I do the saline, I have to plunge it through just about a third. Then I pull back so that I can make sure that blood is drawing out. As long as I see that blood's drawing out, that means that it's still in place properly and there's nothing clouding it. And I plunge it back through. If I'm working on the line that is the blood line, this line, I'll heparin this one right away. And then put the ethanol cap, which you see, it's a little orange ethanol cap, has alcohol in it. That is what I put on the end of the lines. And the one for nutrition, I would just do 1 saline and then hook up to the nutrition for the 12 hours. When the nutrition stops, then I generally use 2 saline. Most people use 1. I like to use 2 so that it flushes the nutrition out. The nutrition is very sticky. So I want to always make sure to flush that because it's clogged it before, and then I heparin after I do that, and then the ethanol cap. There are clamps on the line that you make sure you clamp. If your blood pressure is raising, a lot of times if that clamp on the line itself, if you're not using it, isn't clamped, will bring blood backing up through to the end of that line. And if that blood sits there and sits there and sits there, and you don't know it's there, and that gets flushed back into your body, if that blood goes bad before it flushes in your body, then chances are you can get sick from that. So you need to be real careful about that. If you have, I recommend, well, for me, I've had that back up before like that, and it's been flushed through. And I have a feeling that's where one of my septicemias came from. So anytime I see blood in the line, whether it's been there for a couple of minutes or for who knows how long, I'll take a empty syringe. I'll empty a syringe out, and then I'll draw the blood out. That amount of blood. Okay, sweetie. I generally pull this much blood back out so that I know that I'm pulling blood from inside of my body. And then that goes in the sharps box. I have a container that anything that has blood or sharps that goes in there, and then that's shipped out when it gets full. But to make sure that I don't get sick, I do extra things to prevent that. I wanted to also say thank you again to Tracy Lasik for making this beautiful bracelet. So I'm not sure how much you can see of that, but it's has the different colors, the gastroparesis, the Ehlers-Danlos, the Dysautonomia, and the Mast Cell Activation Disorder or Syndrome, either one. So I guess that wraps up that. That's how we put our TPN together, and then we stay on that. That's how we get our nutrition. And some of us can eat a little bit even on this, and some of us can't. Right now, I'm on ice chips. I was able to eat a few bites of some soft things last week and the week before a little bit, but I've been in a lot of pain, so I am back just to staying on the ice chips. So take care, everybody. I look forward to seeing you guys when we start getting out and doing some events and traveling around to let people know what's going on. Take care. Bye.